And I found it interesting that you sort of talk about taking a hiatus from dating, because I mean, I'm in the same situation. I had an unpleasant experience 7 years ago, and I haven't really gone back. I haven't. And the thing was, it just churned up my stomach. It really did, and I used to feel so hurt and so angry, and mostly, though, I just felt like an idiot. Because I did trust somebody. I took something at face value. And I was so determined never to do it again that I would just keep replaying things over and over and over in my head and putting new spins on them, because I don't even have enough information to know definitively what happened, why it turned out the way it did. And I have a very neurotic mind. It'll keep searching. If I ask it a question, if it doesn't know the answer, it will substitute whatever it can find. And it works in tandem with my imagination. And it can drive me really nutty. That's the truth of the situation. But, I just reached a point, though, where I thought, I've been living like a monk for 7 years. I've been unhappy for 7 years. I've been beating myself up for 7 years. And I always thought that somehow I was punishing the other person. But the truth was, I was just punishing me. And I was doing it over and over and over again. And it's insanity. And the truth is, if you can't be held responsible for what other people do and what other people say, but if you're going to just decide that you can't trust anybody, ultimately you're going to be the person who will suffer. You're going to be the person that's unhappy. This married guy, he may never think of you again. And, people may lie to you in the future. I think the important thing isn't, because you're not going to be saved by one particular individual coming into your life and being the hero and just making everything all better, because life doesn't work like that. What's really going to help is ultimately the philosophy you have towards your interactions with other people. You might have some personal rules. You might say, hey, I'm gonna accept things on face value, but the first lie, that person has compromised our relationship, and that's it. I'm walking away. And it's hard because you do invest yourself emotionally, but the unfortunate reality for single people like yourself, like me, is that a lot of this is just probability and statistics, and you're going to have to meet lots and lots and lots of people before you find the one that's right for you, before you find the person that clicks with you perfectly. I say perfectly, but maybe even that's even misleading, because even all relationships have their challenges. But the thing is, I think you're in a, I really feel like you get to choose what happens next. And I really hope that you're, a little bit more patient with yourself and a little bit more forgiving. And that you think about you. Don't just react to the experiences you've had, and try to deal with each experience as it comes up. But even that's hard. I'll freely acknowledge that, because everything can act as a trigger for a lifetime of hurts. And it's unfortunate, but I think, you got to take chances. And I think you're totally entitled to be pissed off at the other person, but don't be angry at yourself. because you didn't do anything wrong. And the thing is, if you are angry, even if it's a self-preservation inclination, you know, it's going to be your happiness that suffers ultimately. You can't just... You've got to look after you. And I know a lot of things I've said tonight probably seem like they go against that, but if you really woke up day after day and thought, I can't trust anybody, the world is horrible, all men are bastards, everybody's taking advantage of me, what kind of life is that anyway? You don't want that. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for anybody. So look after yourself and be gentle with yourself. And that's all I've got to say. Thanks for listening.